Hello everyone, I am Tabassum. I'm a PhD student at UNC Charlotte, and today I'm going to talk about our work on what drives SMiShing Susceptibility, a US interview study of how and why mobile phone users judge text messages to be real or fake. And for this work, I have worked with my professors, Dr. Cori, Faklaris, and Dr. Heather Lipford. So these would be the key takeaways from my talk today. First, SMS header information alone is not sufficient. Trust relies on sender knowledge, context, links, personalization, and format. Also, improved UI design with warning signs and filtering mechanisms can help users identify fraud SMS more efficiently. And finally, cybersecurity training and education enhance users' ability to identify smishing text messages. So, what are SMish and why are they a problem? We know smishing or SMS phishing is a type of cyber attack where a fraudster sends deceptive message to phone specifically to steal money or credentials. And often they impersonate banks, delivery companies, retailers, and communication providers. As you can see one of the examples where they tried to impersonate USPS delivery service. And according to FTC data, in 2022 shows that consumers reported loss of over $326 million to tech scams. And it is an increase of 279% since 2020. So this is a problem, and to defend against this smishing problem, we wanted to look into what we already know from phishing. And we saw there are some specific characteristics to email phishing. They have some specific kills, and also some specific population are more vulnerable to this kind of phishing. And for email phishing, they often impersonate legitimate entities, request sensitive information, and often contain malicious links. And for susceptibility, they're influenced by email format, logos, sender recognition, URLs, message content, and situational context. And interestingly, younger individuals, especially females, are more vulnerable to this kind of phishings. However, the question is, if we can transfer this knowledge to smishing as well, because studies have shown that SMS can be more personalized, and this personalized SMS can increase the perceived legitimacy. And in SMS, they lack the email's trust indicators like detailed header info and visual cues, which can make the urgent action scams more effective. That is why we wanted to investigate what are the real-life experiences of the mobile phone users, and while judging those SMS, what are the cues they look for. So that led to our research question. First one, how do individuals perceive the credibility of SMS and make trust decisions? And second one, what individual factors and design factors influence these trust decisions? So for our study, we did the recruitment process via Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Craigslist, and UNC Charlotte email announcement and flyers. And any person who is 18 or older, use a mobile phone, and able to attend the in-person interviews, well, welcome to our study. The next step was the interview session, and each session was about 50 minutes long, and we interviewed 29 participants in Charlotte. During the interviews, we discussed their personal experiences with suspicious message, analyzed SMS pairs, and explored their identification methods. And finally, for data analysis, we use thematic analysis and inductive open coding for identifying the cues for legit and suspicious SMS. So apart from discussing their personal experience with suspicious message, during the interviews, for each participant, we showed 3 out of 6 pairs of legit and fraud text to elicit their reaction. And here's one of the pairs that we showed to our participants. And mostly our presented SMS pair impersonated banks like transaction verification, card alerts. And we also had other services like delivery services and bill payments. So, for result, at first I want to talk about the cues for suspicious text. And most of our participants mentioned that if they contain any kind of links, they will become suspicious about the text message. Also, they mentioned about unknown sender. Either they only look into the mobile phone number or they combine that with the area code or the context. Moreover, they mentioned about unofficial format, misspelling, out of context messages, and urging immediate action, which will increase their suspicion for the text message. Here you can see one of the text message that was shared by one of our participants. And this is actually a legit SMS. However, to this participant, she was sure that this is a fraud SMS because it contains a link, it's from an unknown sender, it's out of context message for her, and also urging some kind of immediate action. And the quotation from that participant, I think this is a fraud. I don't know who Nikki is. I didn't sign up for that. So this can make a legit message suspicious to the receiver. Okay. Next are the cues for legitimate text. And most of our participants mentioned about personalized info in the text message will increase their trust, like the last 4 digits of their card number. Also, they mentioned about known context, known sender, and official format will make the text more legit to them. Moreover, they mentioned about no call to action, no personal inquiries, and correct spelling and grammar will increase their trust. Here's another example, as you can see on the screen, shared by one of our participants. And this was a fraud text. However, our participant, he fell for this because it was a known context for him. He was expecting a gift card from AT&T, and at that moment, he received this text and trusted it. Here's another example that we presented to our participants to identify if it's fake or legit. So most of our participants were able to identify it correctly because it had an official format. And I would like to quote from one of our participants. The £sign. I feel like I've seen Bank of America messages that also use symbols in the beginning. So this kind of cues or indicators can make the legit message more legit to the users. In our study, we also wanted to find out if warning signs aid in detecting suspicious SMS. And we found that for Android and iOS, till now, there are some significant dissimilarities. So for Android, there is a built-in spam filter with warning signs for suspicious message, as you can see here, which the Android user really appreciated. And they also mentioned that it would be more flexible for them if they have some kind of reporting option on the UI like this. On the other hand, for the iOS user, we noticed that there is a lack of spam filter and warning sign. And the user really think that if there is some kind of indication on the screen that would help them to identify the fraud SMS more effectively. And currently, the iOS user mostly rely on this report junk option to report the suspicious SMS. So these are some other factors that we noticed in our study. First of all, we noticed that there is an impact of awareness training and how successfully they can identify fraud and legit SMS. So the participants who had some kind of prior awareness training in their jobs or school performed better at distinguishing legitimate from fraud SMS. And we noticed that older participants did better at identifying fraud SMS compared to the younger participants. And finally, most of our participants mentioned that for verifying any suspicious SMS, they would directly contact or call the bank or the company. And for the recommendations from our study, at first, we would like to suggest that we need improved design tools and educational programs to improve the distinguishing of spam versus scam, because currently most of the users are very confused to differentiate between spam and scam. And secondly, we would like to mention like we need enhanced security features and reporting mechanism so that all the mobile operating system have that filtering mechanism and detect and block the SMiShing SMS before it can reach the user. Also, we need to make the reporting mechanism more accessible to the users. And finally, the targeted security training we need, especially for younger users and those who are new to cybersecurity. And for the next steps, we'd like to focus on enhanced mobile interfaces by studying more SMS visual styles and interfaces to understand their impact on SMiShing recognition. Also, in this study, as we mainly focused on financial scams, for next step, we'd like to broaden the SMiShing categories by exploring various SMiShing types beyond financial scams. And also, we want to look into proactive security measures by collaborating with telecom companies to improve security, educate users, and monitor emerging SMiShing tactics. With that, I would conclude my talk today. Thank you so much.